Hey everybody, I'm Daniel,
I'm Anthony.
and this is our laughing film producer.
No.
Today we're going to do an overview of the Tippman M4. This is my personal gun. Anthony's been shot by it many times,
Sadly.
and it's probably the funniest thing. We're just going to give you guys a basic rundown of the gun when it first came, and then what I have on here.
Awesome. Learn something new every day.
So, this thing started its life as probably the most amazing little carbine I've ever had.
Basically, we both had to shoot it. That's how good it was.
I didn't want you to shoot it.
No. That's how good it was. He didn't want me to touch it. That's the thing.
Very satisfying little gun. Just came with your basic collapsible M4 stock. A polymer foregrip, which was kind of janky. Did have some wobble to it if you didn't know what you were doing.
It's basically the typical rail that comes with M4s. Typical stock, too.
But now, on our quick rundown, I have a Magpul fixed MOE carbine stock on it. I have a Sightmark red dot. I'm running a... Who makes this? I think it's Midwest Industries. 15-inch key mod rail.
Got a Noveski amplifier on it.
Yeah, my KX5 that I won. He's
Lucky bitch.
I got a Magpul stubby grip, and then this thing is just covered in Magpul hand stops, and because VTech.
Exactly.
Also on here, I don't know if you can see that, I have just a sight level for my rail. This way, it is airsoft. BBs do not fly straight in every,
Hell no, they
form of function. So I just have that on there so I know my gun's straight if I do slap the 1x6 on here or the 3x9. That way I'm just making my basic nice shots. I also do have just a front Magpul sight on here.
Can't fucking find the rear.
Yeah, everywhere around here they are not selling the rears,
And if they are, they're like $50 just for the rear.
which they're normally supposed to be $35.99. Fucking Pass Pro. That's everything on the outside. Let's just break it down. It does break down like your typical gas blowback M4. This gun is, as most of you know, is a HPA or CO2 blowback gun. You can use this gun in its stock form right out of the box if you do have 12 gram CO2. They fit in this 80 round mid-cap magazine, and the CO2 fits up right in here.
Don't recommend that.
Do not recommend unless you are seriously looking for that no line, no tank kind of fit and feel.
Well, even then, I would still run a CO2 tank.
At least.
Line.
At least a CO2 tank. With the 12 gram CO2 cartridges, they are able to get off, what I've gotten was about 120 to 130 rounds, but these only hold 80, 90 rounds. So your problem is that you still have at least 800 PSI still stuck in that little 12 gram. So when it's inserted, you're going to have a hard time getting that out. Basically,
Well, it's just going to fly out.
yeah, basically you do this and it throws off. So it's the most tactical reload you've ever had.
You might lose your mag in the process, but you know.
They're only $25 each. It's all right. Regardless from that, these are probably some of the best mid-caps I've ever used. Yes, they are only 80 rounds. Yes, they are about $25. But regardless of that, I've never had a feeding issue with this. I've never had a problem to where if I dropped it or feeding different weight BBs in it, it's pushed everything up and through. The only thing I've ever done with this is drop a couple pieces of oil down there in the feed tube, load it up, and this feeds better than my Hex mags.
P mags, your standard mags, hide caps, I mean anything, honestly. So you're paying for what you get.
I don't like high caps.
they're not bad.
I hate high caps.
Starting to like mid caps again. Shut up.
Fuck your drum mag. Alright, so this breaks down like every other basic M4. Take down your rear. Take down your front. And this gun is very weighty. But this is what the gun comes apart as. You can take it down even further from that.
I should GoPro.
It is pretty nice what it comes as. What we do have in here though is I really like that really nice hard crisp kick. So I ended up doing the heavy bolt kit.
Has a huge difference. Huge difference.
All this is a rundown
bolt.
Rundown?
Rundown
It's
bolt
not run.
from.
We don't call it run. It's definitely not grun. It's grinded. Grinded is the word.
That.
That is the word of the day. Grinded. The word that we can't say. All it is a grinded down bolt with a washer to fit.
Home Depot.
$4 is what I paid.
Instead of like 40.
It was a lot more than that. All you do from there though, take your basic spring. This is not a basic spring from Tippman. I've actually went and took my old spring out of my AR. Linda is smelling Smirnoff vodka. No one likes vodka, right? Right. All this is a basic AR spring that I cut down and re-lipped and grinded flat to give myself a little more mass to push this bolt forward so I don't have lag on my trigger pulls. And then I got a little sloop. I know we're not going to be able to see this down there. But if you do, then...
You got some good ass eyes.
Yeah, you're got
So I
eyes.
can't even see it right now.
Can you see it? It's kind of there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I need to clean that. Another thing about this gun, I rarely clean it, and it still runs.
It outshoots
Shit.
99% of the guns out there.
I think the only thing I can't outshoot are when it comes to these kind of semi-auto platforms or full auto platforms, are guys that are running like Polar Stars that are at 400.
And shooting like 45 rounds a second. 35, 40 rounds a second.
Yeah, I have this thing keenly only on semi-auto. I don't like full auto. If you like full auto, that's fine, but
Full auto's amazing.
full auto sucks.
He's just a jackass.
You go full auto, I don't.
I love full auto. That's the best part.
It's not the best part.
I hate Sundays.
But the nicest thing about this is that this is your trigger group. This is all that it is. Comes out very easily, very smoothly. You can easily do this at the field all you want. This is my semi-auto. I also have a full auto drop-in. Just goes in simply.
Never use a full auto drop-in.
I don't like full auto. Regardless of that, now that we're on the internals, we've hit on this. Inside my upper receiver, I have a Prometheus 6.20 wide bore barrel, and it does have the fiberglass, carbon fiber insert of whatever you would like to call it. It gives me 3 separate grooves to where the BB's kind of perched up, so it's always in the center line of the bore.
I'd say Prometheus is like top for inner barrels.
When it comes to these,
The like semi-auto platforms, they're nice.
you're gonna run into some pretty nice groupings. Also, Tippman comes with a proprietary hop-up unit, which to some, if you're mechanically inclined, you kind of get past that really easily.
Gotta get used to it.
But on mine, I've grounded it down. I've added my little secret, onto it, and it is now rubberized. And so when I push it down onto my R-Hop, nice centerline BB, nice shot groupings with this, and you can do it all at home. It's amazing. This is one of those guns that you get and you just smile just holding it. but it's one of those guns you get people that ran Falcons.
Do not get a Falcon.
You get, I don't know. I should probably put the bolt back in, but I kind of just want to hold it. It's my baby. I slept with this before. No, really, I have.
Does not surprise me.
I hope not.
No, it doesn't.
This is one of those guns that you get if you're really keen on being a different kind of HPA user. You don't get this gun because you want to shoot 40, 50 rounds a second.
You don't want to get it because you want to shoot CO2. Honestly, I mean...
Maybe you do. If you live in a colder climate, CO2's partially easier.
But, you know, I mean, it's... I don't know. It's like I said, CO2 tank. That I wouldn't use 12 gram in here. That, I mean... Maybe if they made, like, 120 rounder.
They do.
With CO2. No, with CO2, though.
With CO2, it'd be very difficult to fit it in there, just like I'm finding it very difficult.
Yeah, that's already a long-ass mag, honestly.
That's not much longer than your basic GI mag. There it is. Had to find the hole.
Yeah.
Very little wobble for what this gun is. I do not know if it is milled, forged, pressed aluminum. All I know is that I've literally thrown this thing on the ground. I have flung it. It has been thrown in the back of the truck. It has been...
When we were in a hurry.
Anyways, from there, this is an amazing gun to own. I've attempted to get rid of it. I couldn't.
He tried, and he told me, he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
It took me over 2 hours to finally decide that I could not do it at a swap meet.
Those were some two good-ass guns, too.
They were expensive.
But he's like, nope.
I mean, you get this very crisp, amazing feel when you shoot this thing.
Real steel parts, too.
Pros and cons on this gun. What are the pros?
I'd say real steel parts.
So
rails.
You can use, like I have, I just went straight to the gun store. Okay, real steel parts are not cheap compared to airsoft or gas blowback parts.
They just look so much nicer, though. They just
you can beat the fuck out of your gun, and that's the nice part about this. I did have to spend a little bit more. I have a $300 rail on a $450 gun. I love it. Like I said, Midwest Industries 15-inch rail. I have a real steel buffer tube on here. I don't know why I changed it. I just got bored and I had money. It was fun.
Tends to happen a lot.
And from that kit, I ended up also getting that spring, which I cut down, compressed, and fit right in here nice and smooth, along with that custom bolt. And I think we should just shoot it.
Think so. Sounds good to me.
You want to just do it right here?
Let's do it.
I love this idea. You want to turn that tank on for me?
Let's do it.
So on my setup, I do run two separate tanks. I have a amped airsoft high pressure line, and I am running two different tanks. I run a 3,000 psi.
This is Empire paintball.
Yeah, it's just a paintball tank.
Just paintball tank, yeah. And then you got your nice one over there.
Yeah, I have one of your cheaper, your basic brands paintball tanks. You can pick it up as long as it's pushing 800 plus psi through your Tippman. You're gonna run perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But
Pew.
I wonder if there's a BB in it. Oh yeah.
Just sounds so nice. Trigger finger.
Triggered finger?
There you go.
Now it does have a very long reset. It's not one of those tunable, triggers you can get in your AG. Let's just do this. Off, boy. Off. Down. I don't know if you can hear this.
HPA.
But it's very long. It is a great trigger out of the box, but it's just a break. You don't have really any room unless you can actually go in there, polish it up, but when you polish it, you run into the problem of double feeding or misfiring, which...
No fun. You can't use a AEG trigger, can you?
You cannot. It is all proprietary. Everything you buy from Tippman is there. You're kind of on your own DIY self as far as parts go. You can get longer barrels, shorter barrels. This was the basic Tippman M4 when it did come out. I'm serial number 3800. We're running into the high...
Well, this is first gen. So, like, way before they had AEG.
Yeah, this is when some of them did come out with problems. Now, if you go and pick one up, you're looking at the 10Ks, if not higher.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't recently looked at who's who, but they've sorted everything out. And just to round all this up, if you're looking for a Tippman M4, you ain't gonna go wrong. I convinced him to try and get one.
I'm a full auto guy, and this isn't a full auto gun. But it's so nice.
Yeah, it's a full auto gun. I'm just not a full auto guy.
I mean, not like a Polar Star full auto. Like, that's what I like. Like that laser beam full auto.
Laser beams? Freaking laser beams?
Like, basically, when you're going semi, it seems like you're going full auto. Like, that's how fast I want it.
But, before we go any further, which we're almost done, but before we go any further,
Thumb grooves.
thank you for watching, guys. This is Snap Food Productions. Hope to catch you on the next video.